issues in Albuquerque captured the national spotlight with the deadly shooting of mentally ill homeless camper James Boyd. But his was just one in a long string of cases where APD shot people suffering from mental disorders. Today, the results of a year-long community discussion on mental health in the metro area were released. As News 13's Kayla Ayers reports, more than 20 areas have been identified as priorities, some of which the recent DOJ agreement requires the city to do.
From expanding crisis intervention training for both police officers and firefighters to working with Albuquerque Public Schools to increase programs for families and students after school. These are just some of the ideas that came from a year-long dialogue in the metro area.
To pull all of that together and analyze that and find out basically what does our broad community tell us about mental health.
Washington asked Albuquerque city leaders last year to spearhead summit meetings because of programs the city had already created to address mental health issues. Some programs, including a database of mentally ill people police had previously dealt with, were started after confrontations where police shot and killed people with mental disorders. Others were created after police were shot by the mentally ill. More than 400 people weighed in over the past year on what's working and what's not.
People wanting to come together, express themselves, and see what can we really do. I mean, for some real actions, not just talking.
Dealing with mental health was also a big part of the Justice Department's settlement agreement with the city. The agreement calls on the city and APD to establish a mental health response advisory committee and find ways to improve outcomes for people suffering from mental illness.
That gives us a really good head start. We already have priorities now. We have 22 things that we're going to be working on, 6 priority objectives. We can tie that into the work of the City-County Collaborative and really get to work.
Kayla Ayers, KRQE News 13.
Going forward, the city is establishing teams. They made those teams this morning. Those teams will help move some of those 22 ideas closer to reality.